I'd like to call the meeting to order. Can I get a roll call, please?
Mrs. Craig. Mrs. Fields. Not here. Mr. Hayden, not here. Mr. Nuss.
Here.
Ms. Van Zandt. Here. Mrs. Steele. Here. Mrs. Stoll. Here. Mrs. Whitty. Here. Mr. D'Agostino.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Will you join me in the flag salute, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Sussex-Wantage Regional School District Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the school building, and notice of said meeting sent to the New Jersey Herald and the Star-Ledger.
The Sussex-Wantage Regional School District is a responsive, caring, child-centered community. Our mission is to educate each individual to become a competent, lifelong learner and productive, responsible citizen by providing challenging opportunities in a safe environment through a partnership with families, schools, and communities.
All right, at this time, we will move on to the report of the superintendent of the school.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Just wanted to make you aware of a couple of things that are occurring or have occurred. One, our extended school year program is anticipated to come to closure tomorrow. It's been a great experience for both the kids and the students. We want to thank Mrs. Wilson, Mr. Linsky, all the faculty and staff who participated in that. It's always a great time. Give you an update on some of our committees and projects going on in the school district. If you haven't noticed, the Lawrence School is getting a new parking lot in the upper parking lot area. That's been a project that's been planned for some time. And they're moving right along. I meet with them almost daily. Zeitzone Construction, and they fully anticipate being done. I don't really have a plan B if they're not done, so that works out. We're about a week away from concrete work to pour portions of new sidewalk, and about 2 weeks away from the actual paving. PA system installs, we've been doing them at WES and SMS. WES is functional now, and we're just working on some back-end stuff that involves programming, certain announcements, and things of that nature, security aspects of the system. We're working on running the lines throughout the building in this school, and then Lawrence School will get some add-ons because their system's much newer than the other schools. One of the great things that we stumbled onto with the PA system was that one of the things in the budget process that I said would, kind of help enhance the climate of the middle school would be to try to change the bell system. We talked it over, and it was going to be an overhaul of the bell system, quite expensive. Sometimes those bells kind of make you cringe if you're a kid going off in the school. So this PA system comes with the benefit of they have existing tones in there that can also be programmed as a bell system. You can even upload personalized MP3s and things of that nature. So we're going to be able to enhance that in some way. It may take a little bit of getting used to, a little bit of programming, but it's part of the system we purchased, so that worked out great. I don't want you to think that we're disregarding the landscaping in the front of the building. We're trying to increase the curb appeal. My wife makes me watch those shows, the DIY shows, and curb appeal is very important. So we removed all the overgrown hedges. We were very thorough in going through the process to make sure none of the things we removed were planted in anybody's memory or for a significant accomplishment or something like that, something of that nature, and they weren't, so we took all of those out. An added benefit that I think is going to manifest is that we won't have the cost of the landscaper doing that shrubbery anymore. The plan is, and I sent the board kind of a rudimentary mock-up of just around the entranceway to enhance that with some low-growth materials that really showcase the entrance. We're also pressure washing the front of the building, which they started on that's the north end that's finished, and now they're making their way towards the front. And that should come out nice. The only thing remaining factor, which we're considering, is the base from about 6 feet down. Should we treat that with like a concrete stain, just to make that kind of more of a uniform color and really pop? So we'll make an assessment with the Buildings and Grounds Committee and Mr. Petrowski after they're kind of done pressure washing. We've also been brainstorming the best location at Sussex Middle School to put a greenhouse. You may recall previous board meetings and superintendents, we discussed how there was a funding opportunity by a company called Kinder Morgan. So we had about $25,000 for the greenhouse, and I think the board supplemented that in the budget cycle with about $5,000 because it's been 5-6 years since then. So we're thinking in the back field by the solar panel lot. It's access right here.
Kind of like
Yeah, you have to level it out, or concrete pad. So we're working those out. Mr. Petrowski's helping to spearhead that initiative. Curriculum. I think everyone aware Mr. Linsky and Mrs. Wilson have been hard at work creating a submission for an NJDOE grant. You may recall, or maybe not, but early, my first month actually, back in last July, there was news articles about 3 school districts in the county receiving a grant for preschool expansion. I think it was Ogdensburg, Newton, and Franklin, the only 3 to be recipients of that. And we didn't apply for it. My understanding is because we didn't qualify, and the state actually has to kind of make you aware that you are invited to apply. So this year we were, and they've been hard at work, ran it through the curriculum committee, and they were in full support of it. So we moved forward with it. And what it would seek to do in the beginning is a very small, kind of get your foot in the door to the grant process, but to fund a small, take what we have currently, turn it into potentially a full day pre-K program, and then expand it by about 12 students. So in taking in about 8 students that we currently get in addition to our special ed population, then expanding it to 12. My understanding, just going from some of these seminars, is the state's mission, at least under the Murphy administration, is to expand full-day pre-K for, across the state. It's a competitive grant. If we were the recipients of it, it would be a great thing for the district. It doesn't come without challenges. You have to abide by certain guidelines that the state wants. So we have some challenges that I don't necessarily think they think about. It's kind of a cookie-cutter mentality that they think, you have to fit into this mold, and they're calling the shots. So, we're trying to pitch them on an idea that would work for our students as well as their program. Again, it's competitive, no guarantees that we're going to get it, but, we'll give you more information if we do. Also, the way they operate is September 3rd, they would tell us if we get the grant or not. October 1st, you have to implement it. So you may recall that kind of happened to those 3 districts last year too, and it was, but my understanding is they're doing quite well with it. Not without some growing pains, but you work through those, and then the idea would be once you get your foot in the door, as years go on, you can expand that potentially with the state. Mathapalooza, the folks at Mathapalooza at the end of the school year and all the kids who participated gave us a thank you card for working with that community. Mr. Linsky, I see you stand up. Did you forget?
I have it in my office.
Okay.
I'll do that.
He's going to bring it back later. It's a giant card. Mrs. Van Warner, the superintendent's secretary, had it sitting on my table and said that, you need to bring that to the meeting and show the board. I said, oh, okay, they're going to give it back to me and we're going to display it or put it somewhere. And she said, yeah, but you really need a Vanna White to display it. And then Mr. Linsky was standing next to me, so I passed the card to Mr. Linsky and he said he could do a good job with that. And that's all I have for it.
That's it. Thank you, Mr. Gold. At this time, we'll move on to audience remarks. Members of the audience are invited to make brief comments about items on this agenda and matters of interest to the district. All right, seeing none, we'll move on to the board secretary certification.
Pursuant to NJAC 6A 23A-16.10C3, I certify that as of June 30th, 2019, no line item account has encumbrances and expenditures which in total exceed the line item appropriation in violation of NJAC 6A 23A-16.10A.
Would you like to do both of these at the same time, Christina, both dates?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to look for the approval of board minutes for May 1st, 2019, special session and executive session number 1 and number 2, and May 8th, 2019, regular session and executive session. Looking for a motion.
I make a motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Craig. Thank you, Mr. Nuss. And roll call, please.
Mrs. Craig?
Yes.
Mr. Hyden? Mrs. Fields?
Yes.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Ms. Ranzan?
Yes on May 8th, no to May, yes on May 1st, no on May 8th. Abstain.
Abstain.
Sorry.
That's okay. Mrs. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoll?
yes to May 1st and abstain on May 8th.
Ms. Liddy?
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Minutes are approved.
At this time, I believe we will be moving into an executive session. Can I get a certification for this resolution?
Whereas pursuant to NJSA 10-4-12B, the Sussex-Wantage Regional Board of Education may exclude the public from that portion of a public meeting at which the board discusses any of the matters described in NJSA 10-4-12B 1-9. Now therefore be it resolved that the Sussex-Wantage Regional Board of Education shall enter into closed session to discuss personnel and legal matters. Now therefore it be it further resolved by the Sussex-Wantage Regional Board of Education that pursuant to NJSA 10-4-13B, the time when and the circumstances under which the discussion conducted in closed session can be disclosed to the public is when the need for confidentiality no longer exists.
We will be in executive session for about 15 minutes. Looking for a motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you all in favor.
Mr. Linsky, before everybody leaves, you just want to show them the card. I think it was signed by all the kids who participated in Math and Blues.
I don't know how I forgot this thing, it's gigantic.
Vanna White.
Can you show
Good
that?
job, Vanna.
Mr. Lindsay?
It's in the
Can you
back.
hold it up to the camera?
Walking around.
Oh, back it up a little. Slow
Good.
down.
Thank you, Vanna.
Is that good, Tom?
That's
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you, Vanna.
A little too fast.
A little too fast, sorry. My best.
Thank you, Mr. Linsky.
You're welcome.
And we move on to the presentation of agenda items.
And the guy, wherever you choose, you grab it, hold.
Under personnel, item number 1
As long as you got a nice big, void.
through 20, making a couple of typo corrections on page 1. Number 1 should read 2019-2020. On page 4, it should read, Mr. Silly, for a total of $70 per hour, and a total for Ms. Wagner of $105 per hour.
No, total.
Total.
Total, not per hour.
Oh, sorry.
They're all 35.
Yeah.
All right, looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Discussion.
Number 1, the teacher assistant, is that a rehire or a new hire?
Who's that substitute?
It's a sub.
It's a
substitute.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, just to reinforce, if we do hire additional teacher assistants, it'll be on a preferred hire fallback list based on the reductions that we made.
Well, that's why I was
Yeah,
asking.
no, good pickup.
All right, under stone number 13, I'd like to thank Mr. Gall for taking on extra responsibility, which is he will now be the principal and superintendent. And basically what the district did was took a position that we were paying about $150,000 a year in salary and benefits and turned that into $10,000. So by doing this, this move saves about $140,000 per year for the district and keeps teachers in classrooms and keeps Mr. Gall very busy. We are very excited to have Mr. Gall for the next 5 years as the face of our district and are extremely confident in what's to come and just thank you to him.
I appreciate Mr. D'Agostino's sentiment. I'm by no means any kind of hero in this situation. The real heroes in this situation were the people I had to tell in May that we were going to have a position for you next year, and they still came to work every day with a smile on their faces because that was in the best interest of the kids that they worked with. So despite doing that, moves of this nature, we were still in that position, and those folks are the heroes. And I hope I meet the board's expectations.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, any other discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Craig?
Yes.
Mrs. Stahl?
Yes.
Mrs. Fields?
Yes.
Mr. Hyden?
Yes.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes on all, except a no on number 5.
Mrs. Van Zandt?
Yes.
Mrs. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Abstain on number 5, yes on the rest.
Motion carries.
Under policy, I'd like to move items 1 through 3.
Mr. Nuss.
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Whitty. Discussion. Any discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mrs. Gray?
Yes.
Mrs. Fields?
Yes.
Mr. Hyden?
Yes.
Ms. Renzan?
Yes.
Mrs. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoll?
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Under finance, I'd like to move items 1 through 21.
Looking for a motion?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Thank you. Discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Gray?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoll?
Yes.
Mrs. Fields?
Yes.
Mr. Hyden? Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Renzan?
Yes.
Mrs. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Under special services, I'd like to move item number 1.
Looking for a motion?
Motion. I'll second.
Thank you. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Renzan?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Ms. Craig?
Yes.
Mrs. Fields?
Yes.
Mr. Hyden?
Yes.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoll?
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Under curriculum, I'd like to move item number 1, the correction to the date of the last trip to 5:30, 5th grade all teachers to High Point State Park. The dates should read 5/28, 5/29 for a rain date.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Looking for a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Oh, yeah, I do, I have one. For the 522 item on page 10, the High Note Music Festival, where is that at? Gonna be held?
Last year was adorned.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
All right, that's what I thought.
Kids had a good time. Skylar got to go. She didn't go last year, but they said it was awesome. That's what my kids said.
I know.
Yeah.
Arizona's on. Arizona's a very good thing.
Yeah.
All right, any other discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Craig?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mrs. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Hyden?
Yes.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Ms. Renzan?
Yes.
Mrs. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoll?
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, at this time, we will move on to unfinished business. Does anyone on the board have any unfinished business? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to new business. Does anybody have any new business? All right. Then we will move on to audience remarks. Members of the audience are invited to make brief comments about items on this agenda and matters of interest to the district. Hello.
Hello. I'll make it short and sweet. Lisa Van Orden, SWEA president. I just wanted to personally welcome Michael as our new principal. I know I'm excited, and I would speak on behalf of SWEA as well. I know that was a very tough decision that you guys had to make administratively, having to let go of some people. I understand the budget cuts, of course, are a big part of it, but I just really applaud your decision to go that route. So thank you and welcome, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other audience remarks? All right, seeing none, do not believe we have to go into executive session again. We're good. All right. So then I will look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make it. Wow, you guys like tripped over yourselves.
Mrs. Stoll, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.